Welcome to the Talking the Line podcast, presented to you by Talking the Line Sports Media, giving you our best insights and analysis so you can rake in some cold hard cash on your next sports bet. Now sit on back, open up your mind, and let's cash some tickets. We can't thank you enough for joining us. We hope you enjoy. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit, I forgot my mic was hot. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, degenerates and gamblers. Far and wide. Welcome in to episode number 182 of the Talking the Line podcast, where you never know what you're gonna get, you never know what rabbit hole we're gonna dive into, but you do know one thing, is there are good and positive vibes inbound on this beautiful December the 14th, also known as Tuesday of Bets 2021. Now, my friends, we have a loaded show coming at you today. Before we get into that loaded show, I need you to please take a few moments to smash that subscribe button on whatever platform you are currently ingesting the TTL pod on. If you are watching on YouTube, you might as well hit that notification bell over there as well so you never miss the start of a live show or any additional content dropping from the crew. But if you are watching on one of our social media platforms like Twitter or Facebook, hit that follow button, hit that like button there so you never miss any of our additional social content. However, if you are listening to the pod on your favorite podcast directory, make sure you also hit that subscribe button there too if you have not already, as we do release the audio of every episode after each live show is complete. Next item up on the docket. You could be so kind while you're watching today's show. You can find it in your heart to do so. Go ahead, also hit that like button. Leave us a comment. Leave us a rating. Jump on over yonder in the live chat if you are watching live. Hey, maybe hit that share button too. Send it on over to your brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, friends, enemies, neighbors, people that live on the opposite side of the globe as you, but you would refer to as a good old-fashioned degenerate, because that's what we like here at the TTL pod. And we also like cash and tickets, as I'm sure you good old-fashioned degenerates do. And we also cannot tell you how much we appreciate it when you guys do all of those things, because it does help us make TTL Sports Media bigger and better for each and every one of you. Last, certainly not least, Head on over to this episode's description where you will locate the Talking the Line link tree. Within that link tree, you'll find the TalkingTheLine.com website, all of the TTL Crew social platforms, and our additional content so you can consume all of that jazz in one convenient location, however and whenever you please. Ladies and gentlemen and beautiful gambling people, joining us for episode number 182, I am your humbled, honored, hyped, and always handicapping host, Captain Colt Soroka, and I can't thank you enough for choosing to stop by, hang out with me and my partner for the next hour and a half or so. Who knows? You know what we do say here, though. Always take the over. Sprinkle a little bit because who knows how windy we might get. Now, without further ado, it is time to bring in my aforementioned partner. You know him as the co-host of this here podcast, also the co-host of the Wise Words Pod and Cup of Joe on Campus Pod. Wow, we don't do enough around here at Talking the Line Sports Media. Maybe we need to add a little bit more on the plate. Outside of that, my friends, help me welcome him on in. The man, the myth, the degenerate gambling legend, and oh, we cannot ever forget, especially for one final time when he owns my Bears. The TTL's resident cheesehead himself, Mr. Riley RMags Magnuson. Partner, how the hell you doing over there today, pal?
My man, I am fantastic on this fine Tuesday. Twofer Tuesday. Twofer Tuesday. How many times can you say that fast? But I'm doing fantastic, my man. Gotta warn these production interns about that hot mic at the start of the show, dude. I mean, hey.
Telling you, I don't know what the hell they're doing, what the hell they're going on. You know, maybe not. I don't know which way to call it. Before the show starts, I go a little bit, oh yeah, showtime.
I mean, it did sound good if I'm being totally honest.
Hey, yeah, you know, I get a little, I get hyped. I love coming to do the show.
Good.
I love seeing you guys. I get fucking wild. I get weird. But, yeah, good thing you didn't see my face because I do get a little fucking too hyped sometimes in those moments. So, there you go. There you have it. Hot mic this morning. Yeah, hey, production interns, get your fucking shit together, all right? Outside of that, partner, how really are you doing? You look gorgeous on your side of the screen as per usual.
I appreciate you.
How are you things on the north side of the Windy City there?
Not too bad. Northwest side.
Side?
Well, I mean, it is north side, but when people say north side, they think like Wrigleyville, which I'm
used to be
a few miles west of that. But anyways, apologize for the corrections. I'm doing fantastic, my man. We both had a decent evening last night.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude?
Cashed the Rams ticket with not too much sweat, but, rather handily, I would say. And you yourself had a nice evening on the old hardwood.
Really?
Damn it, we just missed that damn Monday Madness parlay, man. I thought we had it. It was hanging on for dear life. Little Kyler magic there at the end busted it. But, I would probably take it again if I'm being totally honest. But, yeah, that was a rough beat for us, huh?
Yeah, it definitely was. And, speaking of yesterday's best bets, we are a full transparency show, so we will never.
It all down on
hey,
accident,
hey, no problem. It was what you were doing. You're moving, you're grooving, you're pushing things along here, so we might as well just put them up behind us now. So for the first time, all of the TTL Crew's best bets from yesterday, December the 13th, 2021. We almost had a clean sweep on the board, 5-0 for me and Mags on our straight plays. Indiana State up 9 at halftime, my friends, and dominated the Bison for 32 minutes of that game, and then it was an absolute flip of the script, and the Bison ended up winning by 7. Disgusting. Every other one pretty much played out as I called it, and yeah, Max, your Rams, boy, they took care of business in the dog spot. It was pretty much their season on the line, and they needed to win, and everybody was zigging towards the Cards, so your boys zagged away to the Rams. Well, go ahead.
No, sorry. I was going to push back. There's a lot of reactionary stuff, as there always is with the NFL week by week. Just because the Cardinals lost at home doesn't mean they stink now. The Cardinals are going to be back. They had Kyler, DeAndre Hopkins. Not you. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying.
I was like, push back. When did I say that?
No. I'm saying on like Twitter, everywhere else, I'm seeing a lot of reactionary stuff. Like, the Kyler or the Cardinals stink now. It was always the Rams. I think both teams are solid. I think they're both staring up at the top. Packers, Cowboys, Bucks. But I still think they're good. Kyler's going to get himself back going. He was banged up for 3-4 weeks. He was out for 3 weeks, whatever it was. Give him some time to get back rolling before the playoffs, my friend.
100%. And the LA Rams present a little bit more of a challenge than the Chicago Bears on defense, if I do say so myself.
Sure.
But who the hell am I? Not the resident Chicago Bears fan or anything. Monday Madness Parlay right above us went 2 for 3. That damn under, my man, by 2 points. You just hate to see it. One of those that we'll be thinking about for a while. Hopefully not too long, because we got a pretty juicy Twofer Tuesday parlay coming your way that we hope to be getting to the pay window. Moneyline Dice continue their cold streak, my friends. Dare we say have reached hashtag FADE territory. I'm not sure, but we'll discuss that in today's Moneyline Dice segment of the day with their -2.5 loss on the Suns. All right, bring us back in. There you go. There you have it. All of yesterday's best bets of the day. Partner, what the hell do we got going on today? We got a lot, actually. We have 2 best bets coming from you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm right there. Got 5 best bets coming from me. That's, count them, 7 best bets coming from the TTL crew. Straight plays, as always. Gamble how you can afford to gamble. Be who you can afford to be. 1-unit plays on all of our straight plays, as always. Gamble responsibly. Special play of the day, second segment of the day, or rather third segment after we get through Mags and my plays, is that aforementioned Twofer Tuesday parlay. We got 1 pick coming from the ice, lace up the skates, boys, and then we got 1 pick coming from the college basketball hardwood. We looked at some stuff. We said, how is this line not moving? You've got to be kidding me. I wanted to stay away. We simply could not do it, so we've scooped it up. 2 legs together, paying out over 3-1 odds, my friends. For a 2-leg Twofer Tuesday parlay, are you kidding me? Stay locked in. Get ready. We'll be dropping that out, cooking it up, whipping it, flipping it, very shortly.
Hey, next are we hockey sharps or what?
Oh, I wasn't going to say it. I wasn't going to say it because we did have a little bit of a hiccup, but last time I checked, 4-1, pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. And you know, they call sharps about 55 to 58%. 4-1 seems about higher than that to me, but what the hell do I know? Who the hell am I? Who is to say, Mags? I don't know, but what I am to say is that the Moneyline Dice will grace us with their presence after we recap all of today's best bets. They are already live on set. They're going back to Phoenix Suns matchup tonight, but tonight the Suns are playing the Blazers, so we'll let them try and get their lick back, see what they got to say today, but not an awesome start to the week for the Moneyline Dice.
No, we need to get them back on the same track. I mean, it seems like either we're hot, they're cold, they're hot, we're cold. Let's get on the same track here, Dice. Like you said, the FADE word, I don't like throwing it around. And the last few weeks, that's kind of been the word around those Moneyline Dice, my friend.
What I will tell you, though, is if the Moneyline Dice do have to be our fade or our sacrifice, if you will, from the TTL crew, then so be it. If we get maybe all 8 plays to the pay window today, and then we just have to sacrifice the dice. Now, I would never want to do that to you, Dice. But who am I? Well, you know, sometimes you have to make a sacrifice. My hands are tied at this point, okay? It's not me, folks. It's everything that goes on in this world of gambling. Now, that'll pretty much wrap up the entire first half of the show and segue us into the second half of the show. We'll have RMags Sidebar. Interested to see what type of jazz he's got going on here for this beautiful Tuesday. We'll give you some of our daily leans. Obviously, his sidebar will get us into even more banter and rabbit holes. And then the always important TTL announcements. We'll talk about wise words, Cup of Joe on campus, some of our other content, yada, yada, yada. Then we'll wrap things up. Final segment of the day, my friends, Colt's Motivation Minutes. Got a message today on staying present, being in the moment, and just enjoying your journey and not worrying about too much where you're going, worry about where you are. But you need a little extra inspiration, you're going to have to stick around to the very end of the show for that, because right now, partner, unless you have anything else that we need to get out before we start.
No, sir.
Stop all the nonsense, quit all the drama, cut the gossip. You could go to every other sports media outlet and get, for now. You come to the TTL pod for the Stone Cold Locks, picks, insights, analysis, diving into a few rabbit holes along the way, but most importantly, running tickets to the window with the TTL crew all day and night long. So one final item we must complete to keep everything in line. We are not superstitious, just a little stitious. Raise them up high. To me, to you over there, good sir, And all you beautiful people sipping the black elixir of the gods, take your sip in one moment.
I need a damn pot next to me today, dude. I'm getting low.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, I've been combining the BCAAs back into the system, too. I'm on cloud nine right now.
Okay.
Internally, I am living life. Like mentally and also physically. Like we are vibrating, Mags. So that's the energy. Living, man. Just Livin, man. All right. Now, my friend, that's the energy I'm bringing today. I'm going to need you to match that. I'm going to need you to absolutely destroy your best bets of the day segment of the day. And without further ado, my friend, let them rip, let them have it, and as always, you have the floor.
All right, my friends. I'm like you said, we're not superstitious, just a little stitious. This was by coincidence. I mean, Twofer Tuesday. I've got two plays, both start with T, so I'm starting to feel a little, little stitious. Starting to feel good about these plays.
Mm-hmm.
I was already feeling good about these plays before that. Before I realized that, though. However, first one coming from me, coming out of college basketball, dipping into the mid-majors, my friends, dipping into this guy's world. But I am going to a SWAC. One of the teams involved is a SWAC team. One of the teams that I have been following the last couple of years pretty dang closely. And this team is the number one team in said SWAC conference. I'm going to the Texas Southern Tigers, -3 against TRGV. That is Texas Rio Grande Valley Vaqueros, I do believe. To save myself the embarrassment, I'm just going to say TRGV during this analysis. How about that? So I got them.
Love it.
Texas Southern -3. It does look like it's going up, partner. 3.5, 4. I would not go past 4. I would probably still take a 3.5, 4, however. A handful of things that I'm liking here. First thing, I know it looks ugly. 1-7 straight up, Texas Southern. I get it. 6-2 ATS, however. All of these have been on the road, so 6-2 ATS on the road as well. Number 4 strength of schedule in the entire country. A big reason why they're 1-7 straight up. But like I said, they've managed to cover the teams that they have played. It's been a gauntlet, partner. You've got Louisiana Tech. They beat Florida in their most recent game. So am I a little concerned as far as their most recent game being that nice win? Yes, but I do believe it is far enough in the rear view where people aren't really seeing that. And, they still see this 1-7 record, and they're going to be attracted to a TRGV team that has been average at best, and they've been cashing people tickets in certain spots. Some other teams that Texas Southern has played is Oregon, St. Mary's, Washington, Air Force, NC State, and BYU. That's an absolute gauntlet, my people. And if you're coming to me, telling me 6-2 ATS during that stretch, and a team in TRGV that I think is a lot worse than they've showed so far, I'm going to take the Texas Southern Tigers. Let me double check. Yes, Tigers. Sorry,
yeah,
I was a little.
The Tigers.
Okay. In these matchups, 2-0 last two, 2019 and 2021 is Texas Southern. And partner, dipping into your world a little bit with this one, rebounding. Texas Southern, 7th in the nation offensively in offensive rebounds. TRGV, this is not a typo. I had to double check myself. 283rd in both defensive and offensive rebounds. So I think Texas Southern takes care of the glass in this one and gets it done. Texas Southern -3, first best bet of the day, partner.
All right. I think you got me sold. I think you got me back in the boat. I don't like laying any type of points on the road. Might take me a little while to get all the way through the show, and maybe you'll see it in my bet slip. But you definitely got me more sold. I was a little bit more concerned about laying 3.5 on the road. But, I think old Rio Grande Vaqueros are not the best low major team that you're trying to go after.
Glad you can nail that one a little better than me.
Yeah, I got you, my guy. No problem. Hey, you know me, low mid-major king, baby. But you're gunning for a jewel off the crown, if you will, today, my friend. So, without further ado, Mac's first best bet of the day, Texas Southern Tigers, -3. Don't take over, -4. Partner, could you be so kind as to keep this proverbial podcast train steaming on down the tracks with your second, I do believe, NBA best bet of the day?
Yes, sir. You mentioned I'm staying to the hardwood, but I am going to the NBA, taking a dog on this one, taking some points on the road in this one. Short road trip for the Toronto Raptors. I'm taking the Raptors +8 at Brooklyn. I mentioned short road trip. This Raptors team is playing pretty well right now, partner. You know me. I like this Raptors team when they're playing well. They're a big ebb and flow team. When they're on some cold streaks, I'll probably be fading them. when they're on a nice little warm streak, I do like playing them, especially getting some points and getting a handful of points here. These Brooklyn Nets, they're winning some games, but they're not exactly dominating these games either. And in a matchup where Brooklyn has held their own against Toronto, I'm going to take these 8 points 9 times out of 10. Both teams right now 12 and 15 ATS on the entire season. Nothing crazy, but about the same. Raptors, though, 7 and 5 ATS on the road. The Nets, 4 and 9 ATS at home. So they have not been taking care of business ATS at home. The Raptors are 4-0 last four versus a team with a 4-0 ATS, last four with against a team with a winning record, and 5-1 ATS last 6 meetings in Brooklyn. So I do like the Raptors to take care of business in this one. They are 3-1 ATS this season on a back-to-back. They did play last night, so where the Nets do have a 1 day of rest. Nets, I believe, 7-7 ATS on 1 day rest. But that's why I mentioned that short road trip, partner, because it's not like they're flying across the country or anything. They were home in Toronto last night and put up 124 points on Sacramento. When this Toronto team, their offense is rolling, I honestly like that on a back-to-back to keep that offensive momentum, because that's one of their problems all season, right? The times when they're throw up a stinker, it's because of their offense. But if you're giving me 2 straight nights with a team that's solid on back-to-backs, putting up 124 the night before, albeit against a mediocre defense in Sacramento, I'm going to take these 8 points with the Raptors all day long. Last thing for me, a little bit of a trend that I do like as well. A lot of trends on this one, I will admit. Nets 2-6 ATS on the season as a 7.5 to 9.5 point favorite. So they really have not taken care of this spot as well. So give me the Raptors with a little bit of a defensive edge in this one to take care of that 8. Not saying they get the job done outright, but I think they lose 3, 4, 5 points in this one, partner.
Well, hey, you might have me sold, man, because when I do get into handicapping NBA, as I've always been fully transparent, I don't really fuck around with it till after Christmas. 2 things I do look at as how is this team done against this number? I heard that from you, not very good at all. And what are my home and away splits? And not very good at all for the Brooklyn Nets. So those are 2 places I start. I'm not saying they're the end-all, be-all, but I do like those 2 numbers, and they sent a couple of alarms off in my head, partner. So RMags, second best bet of the day. He's going to have a couple closing thoughts as per usual, but the, please, partner, one more, I said, I want to say Trailblazers, but it's not Trailblazers.
No, Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto Raptors. I always get the Blazers and the Raptors mixed up. I don't know why. I have no idea why at this time of the year. I won't eventually, promise you that. But Toronto Raptors +8, partner, close it out.
Actually, so I did not realize this until right now. There must be some type of injury news coming out. This one has dropped to 5.5, partner. I do not know what's going on. +5, 5.5 for the Raptors. Maybe be a little tentative on that. I apologize if you didn't catch the 8. Maybe be a little tentative. Figure out what the hell's going on with the any injury news. I have to imagine that might be a KD taking a rest night. I'm not sure. James Harden took a rest night the other night. I'd be kind of surprised he does 2 nights in a row, especially with the day of rest. But would you agree that has to be some Kevin Durant staying out of this one, right?
Yeah, I would say nobody probably caught the 8 then if they were watching live on the show.
Right, so I do apologize. I did not realize that it was 8 right before we started.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see where that's at. But if somebody big is taking a night off, then I don't mind it too much at all. So
no,
I think it's okay with the movement. So there you go. There you have it, partner. Anything in closing on any of your other best bets or anything in relation?
No, sir. I was going to say the Raptors have not really been in a spot where they're an 8-point dog. They're only one game they have been, but that's not the case anymore. So that was going to be worth this piece of information. But check out, see if you can figure out what's going on with this injury news. But I still like the Raptors +5 if I'm being totally honest here.
Okay, my friend. Well, there you go. There you have it, my friends. Let's keep this proverbial podcast Sunday just building on up. We got a couple of scoops of vanilla, a couple of scoops of chocolate. Let's go ahead and get some caramel and some hot fudge on top of that with my best bets of the day. Now, before I get into all of these bad boys, if you miss any of our best bets or the recap, anything in between, make sure you can, or well, not even make sure, rather, you can find all of it in a bunch of different locations. The Action app, if you got that, you can follow me at cash_with_Colt. Follow Riley at RMags in all caps, and then you can get the Talking the Line best bets at Talking the Line. We also have the Chalkboard HQ app. We have our own board on there, Talking the Line. Multiple channels. I think we have over a dozen channels. I think we have way more than that. Either way, might be a couple of additional announcements in regards to Chalkboard within the coming day or 24, 48 hours. Who's to say? Who am I? What do we know? No clue, but you can follow us on there. Make sure you follow the Talking the Line board. Jump in. We're always in there chatting back and forth. We want to connect with you guys. It's just another way to do that. Think Discord on steroids. steroids, but only for sports betting, my friends. That's what Chalkboard is. Download it on the App Store, not on Google Play yet. I was informed yesterday, not on Google Play. Download it on the App Store and join Chalkboard today. We also have all of our best bets and more on talkingtheline.com. You can find it on the Today's Best Bets tab. And then obviously while you're at talkingtheline.com, you might as well just peruse around there too. So there you go. There you have it. Let's get into my best bets of the day. Now, my friends, as per usual, the Mid-Major King has entered the chat. Now, first best bet of the day, we are going to I should preface this rather by saying that all 5 of my best bets of the day are coming from the mid-major hardwood. I don't think that I have any, well, I guess if you consider it's a matchup between a mid-major team and a Power 5 team. So, sure. First best bet is not that matchup. It is the matchup between the Monmouth Hawks and the Yale Bulldogs. And I've been tracking this one all morning, my friends. Caught it at -1.5. Moved to -2 in some spots. Back down to -1.5. Opened at 1. But it's holding pretty firm at -1.5 despite the Bulldogs being the sharp side. Honestly, I have to keep backing Monmouth until the wheels fall off. There's just no way that you can't right now. They're 8-2 straight up. 10-0 against the number. 6-2 straight up on the road, 8-0 against the number on the road. There are only 2 straight up losses, in case you're worried, maybe their straight up losses were when they were really small point favorites or small point dogs, and this is where they fuck up. I don't think so. The 2 losses were as 9.5 and 5.5 point underdogs, so I'm not really worried about any funny business, them not covering this basket spread right here today. Yale has been solid, but not spectacular, and a touch overvalued at home. They're 6-6 straight up, 4-7 to the number, 4-1 straight up at home, but they play some lackluster opponents, 2-2 ATS on their home hardwood. I said they're being a little overvalued, as evidenced per KenPom, 348th in the nation in home court advantage. So I think that it's kind of fugazi. I think that Monmouth should be at least -2.5, -3 here, but there are a couple of keys, as always, that I bring to every damn show. Offenses are similar, but Monmouth does have a pretty key advantage in a few areas, but it does give them a slight edge overall. They shoot 45.5 from the floor, 36.6 from beyond the arc, and they're 120th in effective field goal percent. Simple comparison to Yale, 41.8 field goal percent, 33.4 from beyond the arc, and 238th in effective field goal percent. Now, if that doesn't trip your trigger, I think there's going to be a little bit more of a defensive game, and that is where Monmouth holds the significant edge. It's why they are a wagon and a half this year. They're 86th in ADE, 20th in opponent effective field goal percent. They're only allowing 27.7 from beyond the three-point arc. Why do I mention that? Because the Yale Bulldogs love to make their money from three-point range, and they're just simply not going to do that today. Simple comparison, once again, to the Yale defense. I think this allows Monmouth to have some success. 201st in ADE, 194th in opponent effective field goal percent, and they allow 33.4 from beyond the arc. I also think rebounds are going to be a big factor. Shout out, partner. Thanks for shouting me out in that category there. I loved looking at these. But Monmouth, 202nd offensive rebounding per KenPom, 120th on the defensive side. Yale just barely worse, but still worse nonetheless. 237th in offensive rebounds and 157th in defensive rebounds. Last but certainly not least, why I think the Monmouth is really going to win that rebounding battle and some of those key turnovers and battles like that, those hustle stats, is because they are a little bit bigger. They're a little bit more physical. 147th in height and physicality per KenPom. Yale, 291st. So just a little bit bigger are the Hawks, and I think that allows this game to be an easy, sweat-free cover towards the end of the game. You don't believe me? Believe the trends. Monmouth, 6-0 ATS last 6 as a favorite. 4-0 ATS last 4 as a road favorite. 5-2 ATS last 7 Tuesday games. And Yale, 2-5 ATS last 7 home games, 0-4 ATS last 4 as a dog, and 1-4 ATS last 5 overall. Sorry, Ted Malzay. Appreciate the hell out of you, brother. I know these are your boys, but we're fading the Bulldogs today and taking the Monmouth Hawks, -1.5.
I'm interested, partner. I really am. I mean, again, we say this, we don't like to deduct like this, but one thing I really like about Monmouth, hey, you mentioned a couple of their losses. One of them is a 5-point loss to St. John's. That's almost an impressive loss, if you ask me. And they've hung in, honestly, beaten a couple of other, bigger name teams, despite being maybe, some less talented teams in that big, higher Power 5 teams, these Yale Bulldogs have been getting their teeth kicked in by these types of teams. And if I'm backing anybody, I'm backing Monmouth with you, my man. I like it.
Appreciate your kind words. Speaking of Power 5 program, going to the next matchup of the day, UNC Tar Heels against the Furman Paladins, and it's easy money. We gotta go to the Heels, right? Get the hell out of here. Who really knows about the Furman Paladins? This guy right here, and that's why we're backing him 150%. Caught him at 11.5, down to 10.5, and I am more than fine with that line movement. Might be even down across the market here
Looks
at some
like 10,
books.
10.5 to say the time.
10.5, staying at minus 110 as far as the market kind of looks there. I love it at 10.5. I would love it down to 6.5, 5.5, maybe even 4.5. Both teams, a couple key reasons here. Both teams really suck against the number. Okay, Furman 2-5-2 all season, and UNC 2-7. So neither one of them are worth a damn. However, this is only the third time that Furman has been an underdog all year long. First one was a push at +6 and an overtime loss to Belmont. We've seen how good Belmont has been so far early on in the season. And the second was a +9 overtime win against Louisville. Once again, they were 9-point dogs in that game. Louisville has shown some promise early on in this season. I'm not saying they're UNC by any stretch of the word, but UNC ain't your uncle's UNC anymore right now, my friend. So I love all of the points, and also to kind of close all of that out before I get into some keys here, UNC being just a touch overvalued at home. They're only 1-4 against the number at home. They've only covered against Michigan +2.5. I think the Fab vibe might not be so fabulous this year. I don't know exactly what's going on with Juwan Howard and the boys, but I'm calling a little bit of fugazi on that +2.5 cover, and I think this is just way too many doggone points. But there are a couple of keys as to why I think the Paladins keep this game tight, and number one is experience. You're wondering why UNC just hasn't had that key quality UNC big point cover win yet. They're 249th in experience per KenPom, so they don't have a very well-veteran oiled machine, if you will, on either side of their ball, where Furman does. They're 91st in the nation in experience per KenPom, so I think that alone allows them to stick in this game. If perchance the Tar Heels get on any runs, it allows them to bring this game back on in. Let's slow it down here, boys, and I think that their experience is really going to allow them to have some success. Also, the turnover department. I was actually really surprised to see this. Offensively, Furman and UNC are pretty damn tight turnover percentage-wise. 109th for Furman, 114th for UNC. But defensively, Furman has a pretty severe advantage. 263rd in defensive turnover percent per KenPom, 347th for UNC. So if anybody's going to be coughing up the rock, I like Furman's defense to kind of surprise the Heels and win the turnover battle. Might keep this game close, if not have an identical number on the turnover battle. On paper, my friends, if you look over this one, it looks like UNC is going to run away. No question, no problem with it, whatever. But the last time I checked, this game ain't played on a stat sheet. It's played on the hardwood, so I'm going to be all over the 10.5 here with Furman. Maybe worth a little bit of a money line sprinkle, but I'm not going that far as of 10:32 a.m. Central Standard Time. But you don't believe me, believe the trends. UNC 2-5-1 ATS last 8 versus a team with a winning straight-up record. 1-6 ATS last 7 as a favorite. 0-5 ATS last 5 as a home favorite. And the Heels 0-4 ATS last 4 Tuesday games. I don't make this shit up. It just happens that way. Give me the Furman Paladins plus 11.5. Fine with down to 10.5 for my second best bet of the day.
I like it, my man. That experience is what I like the most, I think. This UNC team, I think come January and February and even into March, might be looking like a really, really solid and maybe well-oiled machine by that point. But at this point, these are the type of games where, they take some licks and everyone's kind of scratching their head like, oh, no, what do we got going on here? And, it's experience building, and I don't think they can cover that 10.5. I do like it.
Absolutely, especially it's not only the players' fault; it's also the entirely new coaching staff, entirely new system. You're starting to see it kind of catch up with Marquette now, a team like that. So I just don't think Marquette struggled with it enough early on in the season. I think UNC has struggled with it. They still got a little bit of growing pains left, but they'll get there eventually.
Well, also, last thing before I let you keep moving, UNC is one of those teams that I like to talk about as far as their lines being inflated, just because they're one of the, the gigantic brand names alongside Duke and Kentucky. Yeah, exactly.
The Blue Bloods, they're so beautiful. We have to back them at any number. I fucking hate it. Get out of here. I'm all about the Paladins. Love their purple too. My mom's favorite color. Shout out, Ma.
Hey.
I do
Purple.
love that. Their purple is fucking sick though.
Yeah,
I love it.
nice.
Okay. Enough rabbit hole on the second best bet of the day. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. Third best bet of the day coming from your boy. We're going back to the Jacksonville Dolphins against the Southern Miss Eagles. I'm taking the Dolphins +1. It's time we get that lick back from that Georgia bullshit. It looks like this one is entirely flipped. -1.5. It is getting the juice at -115 on FanDuel Sportsbook. Shout out. It was up to 2.5 for a little while, but it looks like it's going to settle around 1.5. I'd be okay with it at 2.5, but I would not take it past that. The Finns are pretty damn good. They haven't won yet on the road, or they've won once. They're 1-3 straight up, or they're 3-1 ATS on the road. I think they finally notch another one in the category here. Obviously, the books know they messed up in this one. Southern Miss is just not a good team. Try and say that 15 times faster. 2-1 straight up, 1-1 against the number at home. But the one win was against Lamar, who is just not a good team whatsoever, as 5-point favorites. And then the other one was against ULL as 3-point dogs. So if they stay as the underdog in this spot, I don't think they get it done. I think they have another ATS loss, and I think this allows the Dolphins to get the outright win. There are a couple of key things here that I found as well that lend into the old Dolphins' favor. Offenses are pretty similar. They're not going to blow the doors off anybody by any stretch of the word, but Jacksonville's defense is severely better. They're only allowing 55.3 points per game compared to Southern Miss's 70.8. Jacksonville's rated at 160th in ADE and 84th in opponent effective field goal percent per KenPom. Just compare that again to Southern Miss, 193rd in ADE and 206th in opponent effective field goal percent. I think Jacksonville smacks the old Eagles in the mouth defensively, and I think they also smack them in the mouth on the offensive and defensive glass. 218th for the Finns on the offensive glass, 92nd on the defensive glass. Southern Miss, 312th offensively, rebounding-wise, and 199th defensively per KenPom. I also think that once Jacksonville starts to build a little bit of a lead here and win some of these 50-50 balls, some of these hustle stats, and really kind of wear down the old Eagles is how I'm seeing this game go. I think their depth is really going to loom large here today. 14th in the nation per KenPom for Jacksonville in depth. That's going up against Southern Miss, who ranks 176th. You don't believe me? Just believe the trends, my friends. Dolphins, 4-1 ATS last 5 road games, 4-1 ATS last 5 as a puppy dog, and 4-0 ATS their last 4 games versus a team with a winning home percent greater than 600. USM, that is the University of Southern Miss, 2-6 ATS last 8 home games, 1-5-1 ATS last 7 Tuesday games. That is miércoles for all of our Spanish viewers out there. And USM, 1-5 ATS last 6 versus a team with a winning straight-up percent greater than 600. Give me all of the Jacksonville Dolphins. I'm fine with it at -1.5. Hammered in, folks. Let's get it to the pay window for my third best bet of the day.
Hey, man, this is one that I do not have too many thoughts about, but you have gotten me into the fanboying of the Dolphins here. So I do like this one. Again, I saw this one this morning, but I was like, you know what? I'll let partner, if he's got something. I don't know enough about these teams quite yet, so I'll let you take it home for us.
I do. Let's go. All right. Let's keep it moving, keep it grooving. Next game up on tap, we're going to the matchup between the UCSB Gauchos, that is the University of Cal Santa Barbara Gauchos against the Pacific Tigers. And I think the Pacific Tigers are extremely overvalued in this spot. Open up around -3.5. Looks like it's settled around -4.5. I would not take it over 5.5. I don't think it will move off of 4.5, but just in case it does, I would be okay with it all the way up to that. I think the Gauchos are being severely undervalued here because they are coming off of an extremely rough beat against St. Mary's yesterday, or a couple days back. Either way, I was saying yesterday because it's actually played into a game we took yesterday in the Cal Poly Mustangs, saying that, oh man, we really hope that they end up beating. Who the hell did they play again? I totally just
last night.
Yeah, who they play again?
Portland,
that's right. I wanted to say Portland. I want to make sure. So this will give us some good value on the pilots going forward in the future. And I think that's exactly what you're seeing here with the Gauchos. The Gauchos just came off of that rough loss against the Gales. And the Gales, we've seen them. Doesn't matter who the opponent is. They're going to smash them so far early on in the season. They are 0-2 against the number on the road. But, my friends, those 2 games were that St. Mary's game and a game against the Washington State Cougars, who have also come out of the gates red hot early on in this college basketball season. I mentioned that Pacific is being overvalued here at home. They're only 1-2 against the number. They are also 305th in home court advantage per KenPom, so I don't really see that being a factor whatsoever here today. Couple of key factors. As far as their overall ranking, UCSB is just the flat out better team. I could bore you all day long with stats, but these teams are really vastly different, and I'll just give you a couple of high-level ones as far as AOE and ADE, and then effective field goal percent and opponent. UCSB 86th in AOE, 157th in ADE. They played a couple of more high-level opponents than Pacific, because you're going to hear their ADE be pretty similar, but I think we see some positive regression for the Gauchos at that number. They're 62nd in effective field goal percent and 73rd in opponent effective field goal percent. If you got a barf bag, I'd suggest you get it close, because Pacific is 245th in AOE, 140th in ADE, but they played some shit competition, 227th in effective field goal percent, and 230th in opponent effective field goal percent. I think UCSB blows the fucking doors off of them. I don't think 8.5 would be enough, but I like the 4.5, because also, one other key reason, that rebounding department. Funny you mentioned it here today, partner. It's looming large in a lot of my plays. I think we see some regression from Pacific in the defensive side. They're ranking 24th right now, but I just mentioned they played a lot of low-level opponents, and to be ranked at 24th, it just doesn't make sense to me. I think they're going to start to see a little bit of regression there, because they're 276th on the offensive side of the ball when it comes to rebounding. Simply compare that to UCSB, 62nd on the offensive glass, 295th on the defensive glass. Contrary to Pacific, UCSB has played some really good offensive rebounding teams, so that's why that defensive number is so bad. I think we see some positive regression there once again, because, last but certainly not least, the Gauchos are just a more physical team. They rank 63rd in the nation per KenPom in height, where Pacific only ranks 203rd, outside the top 200. You don't believe me, my friends? Just believe the trends. UCSB 5-1 ATS last 6 as a favorite, 4-1 ATS last 5 Tuesday games. They're also 6-2 ATS their last 8 as a road favorite, and 7-2 last 9 versus the WCC. Pacific 0-5-1 ATS last 6 versus the Big West, 0-4 ATS last 4 as the dog, and the Gauchos are 4-1 against the number their last 5 meetings with the Tigers. Give me all of UCSB. Minus 4.5, I'm cool with it, but I caught it minus 3.5 this morning for my 4th best bet of the day.
I like it, my man. Once again, don't have too many, but I do like those Gauchos, man. I agree with you. I think this one should be a little bit higher than it is right now.
Sorry, I got a hole in my face.
That's my bad.
It's all good, dude. All good. Hole in my face. Try and fucking clean myself up here real quick. Apologies. All right. 5th and final best bet of the day coming from me, my friends. Let's wrap up the card. We're going to the matchup between the UC Davis Aggies and the Oregon State Beavers. And my friends, the Beavs are not back. We're taking the Aggies +6 in this matchup. I've said it multiple times on this show before. The Oregon State Beavers are not the same team they were last year. And my friends, I think you need to buy into the Aggies. They've actually been a pretty solid team. Solid, not spectacular, as I always say. 4-3 straight up, 3-2 against the number, but they are 1-1 straight up, 1-1 ATS on the road. What that tells me is just the books don't have a fucking clue how to value them here, and they're being a little bit severely undervalued, if you ask me. On the opposite side of that, I think the Beavers are being overvalued. They're 1-8 straight up and against the number overall this year. 1-3 straight up, 0-4 against the number at home. Now, you're going to tell me you want to back a team that has yet to cover on their home hardwood more than anything bigger than a bucket? I'm good on all of that. I'm going to stay away. But if you don't believe me on my humble opinions, just believe a few key trends. I had to double check this. It's that time of the year. I was making a list of turnovers and stats. I had to check the son of a bitch twice because I couldn't believe it. UCD ranks 62nd in tempo compared to Oregon State, 296th in tempo. Boys, I think UCD boat races the old Beavs today, but there's also a couple of key things here defensively. This is going to be a defensive game. I think the Aggies smack the Beavs in the mouth, and on the opposite side of that, I think the Beavers' lackluster defense allows the Aggies to stay in this game. A couple of key stats you'll need to be aware of. UCD allowing 66.9 points per game. They're 140th in ADE, 230th in opponent effective field goal percent, 90th in turnover percent, and 24th on the defensive glass per KenPom. Simple comparison to Oregon State, 72.2 points per game allowed, 169th in ADE, 237th in opponent effective field goal percent, 184th in turnover percent, and 248th in defensive rebounding percent. My friends, I've already said it on this show, but you go and you look at the stat sheet and it looks like the Beavers are going to run away with this game. But last time I checked, this fucking game ain't played on that stat sheet. It's played on the hardwood, and that's where the Aggies are going to get the job done tonight. But you don't believe me? Believe the trends. For the last time today, UCD is 18-7-1 ATS, their last 26 as a dog, 14-2-1, their last 17 as a road dog. Oregon State, I don't make this up, it just happens, 2-8 ATS, their last 10 Tuesday games, 0-4 ATS, last 4 as a favorite, 0-3-1 ATS, last 4 as a home favorite, and 0-6 ATS, their last 6 home games across the board. My friends, it is time for the UC Davis Aggies to take care of business and keep the old Beavers scuffling on about their season. For my final best bet of the day, UC Davis, +6.
I like it, my man. Honestly, I knew the Beavers were rough, but I didn't realize exactly how bad it was, if I'm being totally honest, man. You know me. Of all the big conferences, the Pac-12 is the one that I kind of stay away from, and good grief, I did not realize how bad the Beavs have been this year.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that because we were talking about that on Sunday when we were watching the games together, how bad the Pac-12 is really shaped out this year.
Right.
Like, Oregon had Chris Duarte last
Aside
year.
from UCLA, right?
Yeah, aside from UCLA, for sure. Cronin and the boys. I'll never talk shit about Cronin and the boys. I've said it multiple times on this show. McCronin is my favorite college. And Arizona. But outside of that, I mean, it's a shit show. I mean, USC only's got one of the Mobley boys now. You can't have a Mobley boy. It's got to be the Mobley brothers, man. That's how it works. Arizona State is in shambles. They're 7.5-point dogs against Creighton tonight. I mean, it's a shit show and a half for the Pac-12 right now. But
USC's taking care of business, but you're still.
Yeah. Oh well, they have. They're
10-0. They're number 10 right now.
They have FGCU's. FGCU's from when. What the hell?
Andy Enfield.
What? Yeah, Andy Enfield.
Florida Gulf Coast, Dunk City.
Dunk City, that's right. I wanted to say Slam City, but I was like, that ain't right. Dunk City, Andy Enfield. That was probably my favorite college basketball run as far as March Madness.
But,
yeah. But before we get into all of this nonsense, there's all of my best bets of the day. I digress. Let's save it for the second half of the show. Let's keep this proverbial podcast Sunday continuing to be built. You thought that I forgot that my segment was the caramel and the chocolate, bate chocolate. That's for all of us, all of you other Spanish viewers out there who enjoy a little bit of abuelita during the hace frío time of the year, okay? Let's keep this proverbial podcast train steaming on down the tracks. A special play of the day. Or actually, it's a proverbial podcast Sunday. The fuck am I saying? We need a little whipped cream on top of this bad boy. So let's fill it on up with the Twofer Tuesday Parlay. Okay, partner. I guess it's time to say it. I guess it's okay. We can call ourselves hockey sharps. I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that. You know, I thought about it over the course of this last about 46 minutes here, and I think it's okay we get into that boat. So, first leg on the Twofer Tuesday, 2-for-your Tuesday Parlay. We're going to the matchup between the New Jersey Devils and the Philadelphia Flyers. And my friends, we are taking not the home favorite, the Philadelphia Flyers, the road dog here. We're taking the New Jersey Devils plus 104. It's been moving all around the place, so I don't know exactly what it is. Just take the Devils on the money line. They are a pretty doggone valuable team in this spot. They don't handle all too many teams, but they seem to handle the Philadelphia Flyers regardless of location. A couple of key stats for me that I found here. The Flyers, 3-13, their last 16 versus the Eastern Conference. 0-4, their last 4 versus the Metro. And 0-5 straight up their last 5 home games. So, Flyers scuffling just a little bit here. I don't have a lot of faith in them, and this line seems way too short for the Devs. Partner, anything else from you?
Not too much. We're hockey sharps. That's all I can say.
We're hockey sharps.
No, I mean the Devils.
Just believe us.
It seems like a Philly Flyers trap here because the Devils ain't playing fantastic hockey either. Look at the last 5. Shit. Only win is a 3-0 win over these Flyers though. And you mentioned historically what they've been doing. Both games this year, Devils win by 3 goals. The last 5 overall, 4 out of the last 5 they've won, and it does look like there is some massive liability coming in on the old Flyers, my friend. If this is accurate, it says 99% of money coming down on that Flyers money line, my friend.
Severe monetary liability. Say it with me, kids.
But not to mention, partner, I believe you may have known this, but it was starting to look like it opened up right around minus 140. Not like it was minus 110. It's been moving up to minus 120. It's getting easier for these nicer, more return on your buck if you're looking to bet on the Flyers today.
So you mean to tell me that Vegas is standing up on their counters right now, pulling their pants down and saying, hey, boys, we're going to make the line easier for you. Instead of you put $100 down and you have to put $140 down to win a hundo, we're only going to make you put down $120. Yeah. Come on, boys. The water's fine. It's nice and easy. Oh, shit. 99% of money. 99% of money. Keep tossing it, boys, because we're going to take the opposite side. We zig while everyone else zags. We're taking the devs on the money line. Second best bet of the day. Well, not best bet, rather the second leg on the Twofer Tuesday Parlay. Looked at this one long and hard, my friend. I wanted to take it as one of my best bets, but I said it seems fugazi. I don't want to get near it. I don't want to put myself in a trap. And then we looked at it together and we said, how the hell is this happening right now? So I'm going over it here to mi telefono to make sure, yeah, it's pretty much same ballpark. Okay, I like this even better now because they were generating a little bit of what you could call monetary liability, but it was the sharp side, so it wasn't necessarily like that. Second leg, Miami, Ohio Red Hawks plus 8.5. In correct terms, Miami, Ohio Red Hawks plus 8.5. Despite Clemson getting 72% of bets on this spread, this total, this line has actually ticked down to 8 across the market. So it's lost the hook, gotten easier for the Tigers to cover the game. And if you look, the old Red Hawks are getting 28% of bets, but actually 47% of money wagered on the 8.5. So very interesting. I think it's the sharp side. I think it's the right side. I think the books know that as well because they're seeing shitloads of bets come in on the Tigers, yet they refuse to move the line. Actually, they didn't refuse to move the line. They said, hey, we'll make it easier for you. You want to keep coming on in, baby, because we think this line is nice and easy for you guys to cover. So there you go. Second leg, partner. Any closing thoughts on the Miami Red Hawks plus 8.5?
Well, kind of how you talked about it, one of your plays, and what we talked about, I believe, yesterday. This Miami, Ohio team has lost their last 3 games, last 2 by exactly 1 point. That's making them look like they're a little bit cold. I mean, I think they can keep this game close. And I like Clemson this year. We've talked about them a handful of times. I do not like them any more than a 3-point favorite. You and I talked off show. They got their most recent win. Looks like 90-80 win over a really good Drake team. Oh, awesome! It's an overtime win. They beat them by 10 in overtime. So I'm not. That's a box score. That's a box score game for you. Go ahead, partner. That's a little fishy to me.
I don't make this shit up, dude. The Miami, Ohio Red Hawks 3-1-1 against the number of their last 5 Tuesday games. Okay. The Clemson Tigers 2-6-1 against the number of their last 9 Tuesday games. Give us all of the Miami, Ohio Red Hawks plus 8.5. Second leg on the Twofer Tuesday Parlay. Okay, if you missed anything, one of my best bets, one of Mag's special play best bets, anything in between, who knows? I don't know. It's yours. You're the one that missed it. We're about to recap it all. So, for the first time, live on your screen, I always get a little bit ahead of myself because I forget that I have to produce the show too, in addition to hosting it.
All right, let's go.
I get a fucking ahead of myself and said, shit, I forgot I didn't have that screen up yet. So it is now here, live in prime time. I got to hit one final button here, my friends. So let's talk with a little bit of pace here for the first time live on your screen for this beautiful. I had to check my notes one more time to make sure I was right. December the 14th, 2021, also known as a beautiful Tuesday of bets. The TTL Crew's best bets of the day are now live on your screen. Would you so kindly please turn your attention all the way above us, above the special play for a moment, top left of the screen, RMags picks. He's got two coming at you. He's going to his SWAC boys, not his SWAC boys, the Texas Southern Tigers, -3 against the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley Vaqueros. He's also taken in the NBA hardwood, the Toronto Raptors, +8, 8.5. It's actually dropped down to 5.5 in some places against the Brooklyn Nets. He's okay with that, but don't go much lower. Top right portion of your screen, you will see my best bets of the day. Once again, the CBB Mid-Major King has entered the chat. My 5 college basketball plays on today's card. The Monmouth Hawks, -1.5. The Furman Paladins, +11.5. Fine with it at 10.5. The Jacksonville Dolphins, I caught it +1. Not 1.5, but +1, but okay with the flip to -1.5. Do not take it over 2.5. I love the UCSB Gauchos. Caught him at -3.5, up to 4.5. Okay with it there, too. And the UC Davis Aggies on the road against the Oregon State Beavs, +6. Directly above us now, the special play of the day, the aforementioned Twofer Tuesday Parlay, 2 legs on that bad boy. We have the New Jersey Devils on the money line coming from the NHL ice. And back to the college basketball hardwood, the Miami, Ohio Red Hawks, +8.5 or 8, wherever you're seeing it on your book. Now, before we get to the rest of the text on the screen, the Moneyline Dice roll of the day, Soldier, we need you to affix the bayonet for today's battle with the books and get these bad boys locked in, hammered home, sprinkled a little bit of dough on them, whatever you need to say. Just make sure you get today's best bets of the day that are coming from the TTL crew and are primed for ticket cashing in. And whatever the current best line is on your favorite sports book.
I love it, dude. Had to
Bang.
Had to give a shout out to our our good friend over there that you already mentioned as far as the old Yale Bulldogs home court here. Did not have any of our teams at home, actually. All of these teams are on the road tonight.
Well, apparently the road teams are going to have a successful evening on this beautiful Tuesday of bets. So if you ask me, that certainly looks like 8 plays making it straight to the pay window. Make sure you have your brooms ready and out of the closet, my friends, because we got another bankroll builder coming in hot. Get ready. Brinks trunk backing up to your local sports book. There you go. There you have it. You saw the additional Moneyline Dice text on there. We talked about it earlier. Suns versus Blazers NBA matchup on tap tonight. Moneyline Dice, so we're all aware, a little bit cold. Kick off the week. Close out last week. They are 0-1. They said, boys, we're doubling down on the Suns, -2.5 yesterday, and we saw how well that worked out for them. So maybe they'll have a little bit different plan of attack today, but they are live on set, ready to rock and roll. So, partner, while I get our honorable guest all shined up and ready to roll on about the desk here, would you be so kind as to indulge our guest as our guest here, and as well as our loyal viewers before I choke on myself over here. Who's the home team? Who's the away team? Who's the favorite? Who's the dog? What's this current total set at? And once you do, we'll let these bad boys get to rolling.
Alrighty, so we've got a decent little matchup here out of the West End Conference. Suns and Blazers. Suns coming in on the road as the -1.5 favorite on the back-to-back after the loss last night. Portland +1.5 at home. Over-under sitting at 219 as I see it right now. So still no, if I'm not mistaken, let me double check. Still no Devin Booker, I do believe. That is correct. And that doesn't, looks like DeAndre Ayton might be questionable as well. So I don't know. We'll see if the Suns are trying to, or not the Suns, the Dice are looking for a little Suns revenge tonight or not. I don't know what to expect yet.
219.5.
219, it looks like.
219, and still the Suns being favored by 1.5.
Correct.
Okie dokie, artichoke. Well, the table has been set. I was gonna say the side has been set, but that didn't make much sense. You can't really eat off of a side. You eat off of a table. The table has been set, my friends. So the first roll of the day. Will we be going with the home team Trailblazers or the away team Suns? I don't know. Mags has no clue. Hell, you guys ain't got an idea either. So we might as well get after it and find out in 3, in 2, in 1. Away team.
Okay.
Away team. Away team. Phoenix Suns. The first
Blazers
unofficial.
on a 5-game losing streak. Didn't mention that.
Okay. The dice have unofficially selected the Phoenix Suns for this side. Now, money line or ATS? Are we laying the 1.5, or are we just going to say, hey, we just win it by a point, get the hell out of here, let's get our revenge and go on home? We all find out in 3, in 2, in 1. ATS.
Okay.
ATS. 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 You see the ATS. First unofficial selection from the Moneyline Dice, the Phoenix Suns, -1.5. Now, will they be doubling down for the second day in a row, saying, phooey, we forgot, we should have been on this side. This is what happens in the game we play called gambling. Trust us, we got your back. Or are they saying, sorry, boys, we didn't mean that. We're just fucking with you. We need a little extra screen time. Gonna have to re-roll the whole thing. They're saying, wait, we ain't doing none of that. We're giving you an entirely additional ticket on top of that spread. We're going to the total. I don't know. Mags has no clue in hell. We all find out, however, though, in 3, in 2, in 1. Yeah, it's way under there. Hold on.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
ATS away.
Doubling down
ATS
on the
away.
damn Suns.
ATS
Okay,
away. I
Dice.
wish you could see away. Yeah, you can kind of make it out away there. It just gets blurry. I don't know how to do that whole fucking whatchamacallit deal.
That made it worse.
Yeah, I know it did. Shit. It says away. Just trust me.
50% splits, 51% of bets, 50% of money for the Suns.
I get it. You better not fuck me on this one again. I understand. Do you want me to tell him? If I do it again, I make myself look like a dumbass because of you. On a permanent break. On a permanent fucking break, okay, pal? The dice have spoken! If you want a guaranteed take one ticket, count it, one ticket, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, just one ticket, doubled down straight to the pay window per the Moneyline Dice, not by any human being on this pod, but the all-knowing, ever-present cubicle objects known as the Moneyline Dice. Hammer in right now. The Phoenix Suns, -1.5.
Okay, Dice. I'm saying thank you, but
Thank you, Dice.
I've got some skepticism coming from me over here. I don't know about tonight. Hey, they might be on the right side tonight, but these Dice talking big shit for whatever the hell their record's been the last month or so.
Big time. Hasn't been well. Hasn't been good. If we start the week 0-2, we officially enter the hashtag FADE territory.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dice.
Thank you, Dice.
Well.
Nonetheless.
Nonetheless, there you go. There you have it, my friends. The Moneyline Dice roll of the day. I totally forgot to change that. Was just, there you go. And it says Suns versus Clippers anyway, so glad I didn't change it there. We're all over the map, so we got the TTL Crew's best bets of the day out of the way there as well, just so you guys know that. So that was a Moneyline Dice roll. That's everything all in between. That's going to make it fun for the production crew later to figure out what segment is what. But, hey, all good. No problem. Let's keep it moving, keep it grooving. That sure seems like the first half of the show, if I do say so myself. So let's drop it on down into fourth gear. Burn some rubber, buddy, for the second half of the show. First things first. Partner. Feel like fucking Brian Kelly.
Why?
Anything burning on the brain, melting on the heart, festering on the soul. You have been dying to get out to the kind folks that have joined us on episode number 182 of the Talking the Line podcast on this BEA beautiful December the 14th in the year 2021.
Well, now that you mentioned the guy, I wasn't going to go there, but did you see that weird, like, spinny, like, dancing thing? What the hell was that? I didn't dive deep enough. Like, this isn't what my sidebar is. I'm actually just still curious because you and I haven't talked about it. I haven't talked about it with anyone else. What is that?
I mean, I think it's the old Louisiana Shuffle, if you ask me. The old Brian Kelly Louisiana Shuffle. It is.
Like, what?
He trying to get one leg up, I actually like what, hey, friend of the show, Coach JB, at Chef Coach JB, the real Coach JB on Twitter. He tweeted some shit that made me fucking die laughing last night. He was like, wow, talk about selling your soul to the devil for a couple of bucks. I mean, he was the most buttoned up, religious.
Yeah.
This is how we're doing it, my way or the highway. You better not even cuss in my locker room, boy.
Right.
To now he is Louisiana Tiger, through and through, his whole life, everything is done changed, and he is a wild child. He said, I had this outlaw inside of me, burning inside of me, boys. It has been inside of me for so long, and I'm able to let it loose. Let it loose, coach. I'm with you. I mean, it has been, it's a spectacle. I'll give you that. It's a spectacle to watch.
I mean, we were never in this position by any means. But put yourself in the shoes of a 17-year-old trying to pick between Alabama, LSU, Oklahoma, Clemson, Florida State, Texas A&M. What about this? What about anything that this man is doing is making you say, you know what? That's the guy I want to spend the next 3 to 4 years with. What is this? What is this?
Yeah, I'm not too entirely certain, my friend.
Sorry to cut you off, but I've always had a soft spot for LSU, and maybe that was some of Coach O, because I love Coach O. But
I think so.
I mean, if I I didn't even play football past freshman year of high school, but if I was the number one recruit in the country, I don't know why I would go there right now. I don't know, dude. Yeah.
Hey, shout out Coach O, by the way, baking in the destined sun like a tray of lasagna at this point in time.
Kidding.
But hey, good for him, disappearing off into the sunset. But let's digress from the world of the Louisiana State University Tigers.
Man keeps doing things that we have to talk about.
Hey, we got to talk about him. We got to talk about him. There's rabbit hole number one. Partner, what say you about your sidebar?
Okay, where I actually was trying to go. We talked about a little NFL awards yesterday. And we know the NFL, AFC, NFC playoff races are heating the hell up. But one specific division that I'm interested in chatting with you about, get your opinions, and I'll give out mine. The AFC North, Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Steelers, as top to bottom, the closest division that we have right now. What do you got?
I got to play. I got
do
a future.
You really? Okay.
I got a future ticket out right now.
I mean, I believe I do as well. I had a small one in the preseason, but
no, I didn't
Ravens
do preseason. I just did recently.
Okay, well, Ravens 8-5, Browns and Bengals 7-6, Steelers 6-1. Current odds: Ravens plus 150, Browns plus 195, Bengals 230, and Steelers plus 1300. I checked yesterday evening, they were at plus 1000. Yeah, I checked this one yesterday. If I was like, oh, maybe I'll chat about this tomorrow, and I popped it up just now. It's 1300. Actually,
you want to take a stab at who I might have hammered in from the AFC North?
Was there something to do with stab?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's just fun.
I mean, I had preseason ticket on the Browns. Are you going Bengals? You going Bengals? Okay.
Plus 230. The Steelers look broked. They look big broke.
Steelers are broken. They also have the Titans, Chiefs, Browns, and Ravens.
Correct.
So about a game and a half back. That's not going to be it.
Ravens without Lamar, that ain't good. That ain't good whatsoever. And with them having the record they have right now, I help me out with the other quarterback.
Tyler Huntley.
Not that saying no shade on Huntley. He has stepped up and done a great job when he needed to come in, but I just don't think they're ready to elevate him into that spotlight yet.
I think he can still hang on for a playoff spot, though.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe for sure. Catch one. I mean, I guess, yeah, we got 7 spots to fill for sure, so potentially. Yeah. But I don't think they win it, so that rules out the Steelers and the Ravens. And the Browns, I mean, not with Baker, man. I just, how they close out the season, Baker's just not looked well. He's not looked good. I mean, I don't know. If they can't depend on their rushing game to get them rolling, get them moving, then they don't have anything going whatsoever. I mean, for crying out loud, like, we watched that game and we joked about it, Mags. We said, man, I always watch the post-game interviews and I'm like, why is this team fucking happy? Like, how does this even make sense? The Ravens snuck all the way in the back door and we forget, like, oh, gambling isn't the only thing in this planet. But, I mean, they still allowed the Ravens to do that after being up by 2.5 touchdowns. So, I mean, that's a lot you got to think about there because that defense is solid, but if you have a very, very solid offensive-minded coach, which I'm not saying that Harbaugh isn't, I'm just saying that they were dealing with some injuries and that running game has not been what the Baltimore running game should have been with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. They would have been a lot better at this point in time. You're having to rely a lot on Lamar's legs. You're having to rely a lot on Lamar dropping dimes, and that's something he's still like, I'm not in the whole media boat of, oh, fucking Lamar can't throw a ball to save his fucking life, but I also think, like, maybe he needs to improve on a couple of spots here or there. He's showed a little bit of lack, but I still think he can throw a ball, and I think he's shown more than enough caliber to be in the league for a long, 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 long time. But I think the Bengals, man, I think the Bengals, Joe Mixon gets healthy. He stays good to go. He had that little spurt with illness. I think he's good to go now. They play any team that isn't prepared for their rushing attack, and they will smack them in the mouth left, right, and center. And then just as soon as they get to figuring out how to stop that rushing attack, then Jamar Chase is going to rip the top off the defense with one of them deep balls on that connection. And then they start picking up Jamar Chase, and there's going to be T. Higgins out of nowhere. I think the Bengals have a pretty cupcake schedule to close out the season, and I think they got a chance to really get it done. So I like the plus 230, and I hammered it in just for a little sprinkle. Nothing crazy, man. Just a little spot.
I don't hate it, and I think I wouldn't make a new play on it. I'll just stick to my original preseason Browns to win the division bet. But I might, if I gun to my head, I might take the Bengals as well. The interesting thing here is that 2 of these teams have the Chiefs on their schedule. The other 2 have the Packers on their schedule. If any one of those 4, and I kind of ruling out the Steelers just with their schedule is and game and a half back. But if any of those other 3 teams can beat either the Chiefs or the Packers, that might be the ticket that gets them in. But also, there's just these big, huge division games. I mean, Bengals got the Broncos coming up. The Broncos need to win that one as well. But I think the Bengals can, as long as they can travel to Denver, I think they'll take care of business there. So I think I'm with you. And they have solid success against the Ravens as well. It might come down to that. I mean, Bengals-Browns Week 18 might be the decider. I don't know, man. I might be with you.
Kind of what I was thinking, and I think the Bengals kind of sneaked that one out there. I think that game is in Cincinnati, if I'm not mistaken. It's in Cleveland.
Bengals do get Ravens in Cincinnati a couple weeks though.
I'm not too worried about it either way. Okay, so another sidebar in addition to your sidebar. You talked about the Chiefs and the Packers. Fuck your Packers. I don't care about talking about them. Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs. Are they all the way back? Is this defense actually alive? Is product of just playing a couple of lackluster offenses, playing the Chiefs 2 out of their last 4 games? What is it, partner?
So I don't think they're the fully formed last couple of years Chiefs teams that everyone should be terrified about. They are finding a way to win games against certain teams, but it's also, 2 of the last 4 weeks they've put up 40 points, and it was the Raiders. So, did they just have fantastic recipes? In this other game the other day, they would have kicked the pants out of many ways, but they had goofy, tip balls that just are just inexplicable and all these random fumbles. Like I said, they would have kicked the shit out of them anyways, but that 48-9 is a little inflated, I would say. Maybe we'll see on Thursday night, man. I don't think they're going to roll through the AFC. I think the Patriots would have a good recipe for them. Nobody really else in the AFC is really impressing me that much. We just talked about the Ravens. They're not playing their best football at the right time or healthy at the right time. So I think it might be Patriots-Chiefs for the AFC ship. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think it very well could be. But I don't know. We'll see what happens there.
I think the right defense, if you have the right defense to match up with them, I still think the right defense can game plan to slow them down and keep them under 24 points. And I think the right offense could exploit that defense. I know they dominated the Cowboys, which is the one that's making me think maybe their defense is starting to be really good. But, I look around and thinking about the NFC, I think the Packers or the Bucks, let's say hypothetically either of those teams see them in the Super Bowl, I think Brady or Rodgers could have solid success against the Chiefs. Look at the Packers-Chiefs game. Everyone was saying, oh, well, if Rodgers was playing, the Packers would have dominated the Chiefs in that game, aside from Jordan Love. So, obviously, I'm a homer in that aspect, but I think you know what I mean, and maybe you agree, maybe you don't. I don't know.
Yeah, I would definitely say you're a little bit more of a homer on that end of the spectrum to pull out the Packers, but still at the same time, I don't think if it was actually Aaron Rodgers and not Jordan Love, I think it would definitely be a different story. I don't know, man. I don't know if they're all the way back. We'll see. Do you have it in front of you who they got this upcoming week?
It's Chargers on Thursday night.
Oh, that's right. It's the Thursday night game. I totally forgot. Yeah, so that's going to be, that's obviously a litmus test. That's
big one for the Chargers,
means a lot.
too.
Hey, that's AFC West. That's Showtime battle in prime time. So, it means a lot in that situation. So, actually, now they're on. Are we finally going to have a good Thursday night football game, or what's going to be the drill here? Oh,
last week came from the dead, that Steelers-Vikings game, but I hope so, man. These Chargers-Chiefs games have been pretty solid. Chiefs looking for a little revenge. If I'm not mistaken, Chargers got that one pretty handily early in the season, 30-24, not handily, but they, I don't know. Chargers are going to be looking for Chiefs are going to be looking for some revenge in that one. So I think we will, man.
Sorry, we have some triple XL naked strip, double down, fucking titty show bullshit. I don't get it, dude. I don't fucking get it, dude. Today. It's all right. I was asking you a question. It's all good. Moderate. Just have the fucking comments open. Just moderate that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Fucking do I fucking hate it. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. The Bills did not look good. I was talking about potential Bills and Patriots Super Bowl. Man, maybe, who knows?
AFC Championship, you mean?
Yeah. They did. Like, and I'm just talking about, AFC Championship. So they didn't look good. No, not. I didn't mean
Bills
Patriots.
and Chiefs.
Bills. Yeah. No.
Sorry.
Stop. Bills and Buccaneers this past week,
Okay.
and we're talking about the Chiefs getting all over the fucking map. They did not look good against the Chiefs whatsoever. They didn't look like, so maybe the Chiefs are back in that regard. But then the Bills kind of cleaned some shit up. They didn't look great, but they kind of snuck in the back door overtime, didn't fucking cover, almost blew your ticket to pieces, a nice parlay that cashed, but
Yeah.
I don't know what the Bills are, because we keep
I know.
kind of fucking sneaking them in here left, right, and center, not really talking about them, acknowledging them. And they're like, they're going to be there, but I don't know if they're going to get bounced early. I kind of feel like they're going to get bounced early. They don't have a rushing attack. They don't, and you can't throw the ball 50 times a game against Bill Belichick. Like, you can't. I mean, he proved you can't.
I think they'll. Yeah, I don't know. You're right. I don't know what they are. They're in a spot like if you didn't look at their schedule, you say, "Damn, are the Bills going to make the play? Or Bills going to miss the playoffs?" 3 out of their 4 games, they should be winnable games. And if they don't win 3 out of these 4 games, then I don't think they deserve to be it. I mean, they got the one game with the Patriots that'll be huge, but aside from that, they've got the Panthers, Falcons, and Jets, so that should get them in because they're tied for the last couple of spots right now, and tied with a handful of teams that are on the outside. But that's by far the easiest schedule of all the teams that are involved in that mess right now. But like you said, they getting bounced early. There's a chance that they might play the Chiefs in the first round, and I think the Bills could have a solid recipe for the Chiefs, but they very well could get bounced in the first round there.
Speaking of there's a chance that old Josh Allen stays in a walking boot and continues to be week to week through this week, and we have old kissing titties man in the Buffalo Bills, which terrific. Oh, he looked wonderful in the preseason. The Bears fucking suck. Wonderful. Fuck all of you, every one of you out there that just had to say something. Had your, we just gotta rub it more in for all the Bears fans. Mitch Trubisky is not coming in for the Buffalo Bills and going to tear up any team they possibly play. They do play a cupcake schedule, but it is kind of trending in that fact. I know I'm joking, but we might honestly see Mitch Trubisky starting for the Buffalo Bills on Sunday.
Trubisky versus Cam Newton, if that would be the case this Sunday.
How bananas would that shit be? Like, how just absolutely off the charts is that matchup? Well, that doesn't make any sense.
I think it's unlikely. Yeah. I think Josh Allen definitely plays, especially with the spot there. If they were like the 1 seed, I have to imagine maybe he'd take a week off going into that Patriots game the following week. So it's at 10.5 right now. If that news comes out that Trubisky's starting, what do you think that line does? Under a touchdown?
Under a touchdown?
But it's at 10.5. Do you think it slides under?
10.5 in favor of the Bills?
The Bills over the Panthers right now, assuming Josh Allen is playing, I have to imagine.
Yeah, I'd say 6.5.
6.5, right? Because Panthers, I'm almost in full faith territory of the Cam Newton and the Panthers right now, almost regardless. Probably won't take it at 10.5 with these injuries for the Bills, but man, the Panthers look terrible.
The Falcons fucked them up. Now, granted, I talked about it on last Friday's show that the Falcons, when they lose a game to the Panthers sometime in the year, they always come back and then whoop their absolute ass. That's just what happens. So maybe one more week I got to see some bullshit out of the Panthers, but what I also don't think you should keep doing is rotating quarterbacks between Cam and P.J. Walker in the anticipation of Josh Donaldson coming back. And then, did I say that right? No, I didn't say that right. Sam Darnold. I'm sorry. There's a Donaldson. There's too much. What the fuck am I saying? Sam Darnold. I apologize. Too much CBD on this morning's show. Only CBD here. Sam Darnold. With the anticipation of Sam Darnold coming back, what are they going to do? Start rotating 3 quarterbacks in there? Because then now you're taking, in the legendary words of Michael Lombardi, a 4-star general who is now taking over this team in Cam Newton. You're fucking with his general abilities now, putting P.J. Walker in there every now and again. And now what? Sam gets healthy right before week 18. You put him in week 17, and now you fuck everything all else up. I don't get it. I think I'm out. I kind of keep forgetting that this is week 15 coming up. I mean, we got 4 weeks left of football here, man. This is crazy. This is insane. 15, 16, 17, 18. That's bananas, dude. How did it go so fast? How have we gone through 14 weeks of football already? And we still, you know what the craziest part is? Is we gone through 14 fucking weeks of football, and I still don't know shit about shit. I still don't know shit about shit, dude. There is every fucking week, there is a team. Oh, they're back. They're ready to rock and roll. That's the team we back. Everybody's on them. Here we go. It's fucking showtime. And they failed to cover by 4 fucking touchdowns.
Well, I think I saw last night, I could be wrong, but I think I'm saying it right. Each conference, there's 5 teams within a game of the number 1 seed, which has never happened to this late in the season. So you're right. Nobody knows what the hell is going on.
It's bananas.
I feel pretty confident that the Packers, Bucks, and Patriots are pretty damn good right now. And that's about all I know right now.
It's about all I know. I know that Bill Belichick is going to keep cashing checks. And outside of that, yeah, I think it would be electric. We kind of talked about this with shout out Scoot, one of our buddies, over the weekend. I think the NFL is kind of teeing everything up to have that Patriots-Buccaneers Super Bowl, and because this might be one of the last opportunities you get it. If not this year, then it has to be next year, so why not fucking tee it up now? And especially if they go into Lambeau again and beat your fucking Packers on the same situation.
Not happening.
I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we see, calling it here early now, 2021 Super Bowl in L.A. Both boys don't have to be shivering their fucking sack-ticulars off like they did their entire time they were with each other in New England, and they get to play each other in the Super Bowl. Bill Belichick, New England Patriots, now led by the rookie phenom Mac Jones, up against the old GOAT, now facing maybe the new GOAT, but still, nonetheless, the old GOAT, Tom, TB12, eats green paste to make him stay in the league until he's 5,000 years old. Brady, sign me up for that Super Bowl. I'm in.
Pass.
I'm in. Here we go. And then sign me up for a Super Bowl next year with Aaron Rodgers on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they go back and make a run.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. 2024. Did you see Vegas is getting the Super Bowl? Las
Sick
Vegas.
Sick as hell,
That's
dude. That should be
sick.
awesome. That should be so cool, man. We talked about it a lot, but the more that Vegas gets into this sports space, I absolutely love it. Like, and now it's even kind of getting more talks that the Oakland Athletics might be moving even more and more now. So
I think baseball team would be amazing. Man. Baseball and basketball,
that'd be
man.
so cool. Speaking of, a whole other rabbit hole. Put a pin in that thought. Did you see Nashville coming out? Is that where you were going? Fucking Nashville, yes. With that potential Nashville Stars. Sign me up, dude. Like, half the stadium is a fucking concert hall. The other half is the ballpark. Like, sign me up. I'm in.
Same with me. And what I was going to say to kind of tie that all in, I hope Nashville kind of becomes that Midwest, not the full Vegas. You got to stick to Nashville. Like, actually lean into some Nash Vegas and have some sportsbook action there, man.
Shit, yeah.
Because like I said, Nashville itself is fucking amazing. And I don't want the core of Nashville to change, but you had a baseball team in there with a little sprinkle of sports gambling, dude. Oh, man, one of my favorite cities in the damn country, dude.
That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Nash Vegas. Never touched down, but love the area, love where it's at, and I think we might have to plan a little something.
Yeah,
been to the Las Vegas multiple times. I've been to Las Vegas more times than I can count on my fingers and my toes, but never been to old Nash Vegas, so... They put a ballpark in
8-hour drive south, which sounds bad when we say it, but then I've done it before, and it's like, oh, that really wasn't too bad.
I got some family that lives in Kansas, a small little town called Fredonia. It's about 9 hours from here. It's shit. I mean, you get in a truck, you get to moving, get to grooving. Finally, you get there. It's about 6 hours to Minor Mike and Buster's in Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri. Hell of a fucking arcade. You ever find yourself in Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri? Fucking hit up Minor Mike and Buster's. Shot at. Won me lots of fucking tickets and prizes at that motherfucker. They got one. While I'm on this rabbit hole, they got one. You stand on this fucking... It's a shooting game, and you stand on this platform, and all the fucking targets are, like, around the whole facility. And it's like this big-ass warehouse, like, acres and acres and acres this warehouse. And, like, all the targets are, like, up on the ceiling and all over the fucking place. So you're just, like, moving, shooting shit. Minor Mike and Buster's, dude. Shout out.
That's all I got. That's all I got, dude. Let's wrap this damn thing up unless you got something else.
No, you ever been to Lake of the Ozarks?
I have not, actually. Big fan of the show Ozark, but
that is a fucking show and a half. That is a show and a half. But yeah, Lake of the Ozarks, it's a summertime destination.
I've heard awesome things. Yeah.
Get you a big old fucking boat, because the little boats they get tossed all this shit out there. But you get you a big old boat and you go out and get a little silly, and then I didn't see too many 25 to 30-year-olds jumping into Minor Mike and Buster's. I might look a little funny going in there nowadays, but hey, fuck it, I'm in. Let's go. Summer trip.
Last thing I did forget to mention, as far as breaking news, as far as one of my picks, potential explanation of the line movement, LaMarcus Aldridge is ruled out. Kevin Durant is questionable, which at this point in the game, when you see a 3-point line movement and someone like that says they are questionable, that typically means they are going to be sitting the fuck out. So... Hey, hopefully I'm not throwing that CLV in the old trash can later tonight, but still like that Raptors +5 as long as it hasn't kept moving down. But they might win that game
100%.
outright, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of actually wrapping up in regards to my play on that spectrum. A couple of my plays too. Monmouth House flipped to +1.5, but they are getting severe juice. They're -122, so you got to pay 2 dimes and a couple of pennies to get in on that action if you want to. 122 will win you a hundo, but I'm still very confident in it, especially with it getting the juice at the +1.5. I think it's a little bit of fugazi flippage. Jacksonville up to 3.5 now, my friend. Hope you guys were able to catch that at +1.5, -1.5 when it ticked back down during the show, and now it ticked back up through 2.5 up to 3.5. So
it's -3.5.
it's -3.5.
Oh, I thought
told
you were saying
yeah,
plus
no,
3.5.
it is up to -3.5. So I said, don't take that over 2.5. It is not getting the juice. -104. Only have to pay a couple pennies to get in on that ride. Wait till it goes back down to 2.5 or 1.5, starts getting the juice again. I'm fine with you paying 115 just to be able to get it at 2.5, 1.5. Outside of that, everything else looks like it stayed pretty consistent. One thing I found too, kind of shout out, is actually what I'm doing right now. So I make all my bets in the morning, and then I'll re-add the plays that I have, like especially our special plays too, and everything. I'll add it back into my bet slip, and it's nice if you have the action app. You can kind of see that movement. You can go back in, whatever. But sometimes it's like, really, what the fuck was that movement? Like, does that movement mean something? So I've watched Monmouth all morning, and it wasn't getting any juice, just held firm at 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. Finally flipped to +1.5, kind of what I was anticipating. Watched the -122. So I'm not saying it's the end all be all, but if you have a book that you love to use, and for instance, this one's FanDuel for me, make your bets in the morning and then drop your plays back in there, just in the bet slip. Because what I like about FanDuel is like DraftKings will close it all out for you, and they're like, "Oh, you're shit out of fucking luck. Gotta go search for it again, dumbass." And I hate that so much.
Right.
FanDuel will keep it in, and they'll actively update the odds for you too, so you can almost do your own line tracking throughout the day, and like, okay, this is what I would take at 8 a.m. Let me see by 9 a.m. where is this line gone, and you can literally leave it in a slip like that. So, little pro tip came to the mind there. Another fucking rabbit hole. How about that? So, as per usual, be who you can afford to be. Always gamble responsibly. Anything outside of that, partner? I forgot, left out, dished out. A couple of TTL announcements here. Anything else outside of that?
No, sir. Take it home.
Okay, before Motivation Minutes, my friends, Wise Words Season 2, Episode number 4 drops tomorrow after the show, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, featuring somebody you've seen us gone back and forth with. It's actually also a company you've seen us gone back and forth with and talk about before actually on this show. I'll let you spin about that and figure out who's going to be on there, but it will be out on the YouTube channel, so make sure you hit the notification bell if you are watching on YouTube over there, so you don't miss the drop of that, and then it will follow releasing on all major podcast directories in addition. If you haven't checked out the rest of Season 2 or even Season 1, this is the first time you're hearing about Wise Words, check it out. You can go to talkingtheline.com/wise-words-podcast. You'll see all the major directories. It's on YouTube, podcast platforms, yada, yada, yada. Go check it out. Features some of the brightest, sharpest, most electric names dishing out their best knowledge and insights in regards to the sports gaming industry. Let's all get better at betting together, if you will. How does that sound? Cup of Joe on campus coming around the bend. I'm working on another guest. It was absolutely fucking electric to have a guest couple weeks back, so we're going to be working on that. Have one coming up here, maybe not this upcoming Saturday, but Saturday after next. We'll see what happens. Saturday after next is Christmas, next Saturday is Christmas, so Saturday after, you know what I'm saying, it'll be a while yet still. I don't think we're going to kind of talking about Christmas. I know it's still a week away, but fucking holy shit, it's only a week away. Probably have Wednesday show, and then we won't do Thursday, Friday, or Cup of Joe on campus on Saturday. So no Thursday show, no Friday show tentatively, and then no Cup of Joe
So we
on
can
campus.
chat about it, but obviously we'll talk about it. But if maybe Thursday, maybe the 23rd morning, unless you got stuff going on. I guess I don't know. We didn't talk about that.
No, I got shit. So we'll talk about that. Yeah, maybe we have third. Maybe we do. Maybe we do something like a little bit different, like a Christmas spectacular or some shit, instead of just like dishing out my picks, your picks, special play, whatever. We can just talk some shit and whatever. I don't know who the hell Judith Akins is, but shout out Judith Akins. Oh yeah, naked online strips. Shout out. Oh yeah, fucking bunch of bullshit. So yeah, there you go. We'll let you know for sure once next week rolls around, but we'll probably have something special cooked up. We'll do a little something, give you, because generally it tends to be either we got a couple of friends that are teachers, so they'll obviously be on Christmas break. We got a couple of listeners of the show. I know they start break a little bit earlier for their jobs too. So yeah, we'll dish it out. We'll keep it moving. Make sure, speaking of listeners of the show, make sure you tell all your brothers, sisters, friends, enemies, friends, degenerates, non-degenerates, everybody in between. It is our job to bring the sports gambling idea out of the deep dark corners of Guido Gambino's basement and bring it to the light of the TTL production studios. Talk some line, have some fun, and so these are the vibes we're always going to put down. We're not just going to sit here and bore you guys with nonsense and comments and I know the absolute most about sports betting. Oh, Magnuson, could you please pour me another scotch, would you? It just ain't going to happen. You're not going to find it here. You're not going to see it. And I actually had a conversation with our guest of the day yesterday and after the show, after we recorded it. And that's one thing he really recommended us on is just we don't change no matter what. It's the show or we're talking to somebody off the show, whatever the case is. We're just the real honest version of us. And we just like to try and give others some good vibes, good energy, good motivation, whatever the case might be. Just give you that little bit to get out of the bullshit, because even on some of the apps that we stream this here pod on, there is a lot of bullshit, a lot of toxicity. So we like to toss it out there, maybe give you a little good vibes, good positivity going through the timeline there. But hey, speaking of positivity, before I get into my motivation minutes of the day, make sure you check out talkingtheline.com. You can find all of our additional content, all of our social platforms, everything in between. But let's change that ticker for the final time here today, my friends, for my motivation minutes. So, pretty simple one today, actually. I heard kind of a quote like this in a movie, and I didn't watch the full movie, so I don't know what the hell it is, and I just saw kind of a clip of it, and it really, I saw it on a page that I follow, and it really kind of just stuck with me, and it even stuck with me through this morning after I saw it last night, and I was like, all right, well, I guess this is what we're talking about today. So today's message is just all kind of centered around staying present and being here and content and grateful for what you are. Now, not being content to the point of, when something comes, it'll come. Like, you still got to put in the work and still have to give effort towards your goals. But stop worrying so much about getting to those goals and reaching those goals, because at the end of the day, you're not utilizing right here and now to its full potential. And that quote was something along those lines of, don't get hung up on where you want to be, because then you won't make the most out of the place you're currently in. And it's always great. I've talked about it before on this show. It's so essential to remember where you were, where you're at, and most importantly, where you want to be. But it is even more essential to not get stuck in where you want to be and where you are at, because at the end of the day, you're right here and now. And that's all that matters, because in order to get to the future, you're going to have to stay in this moment and build yourself now in order to be prepared for those next moments. And in order to stay in this present moment and focus on the new version of yourself, you can't worry about the past, old, dead, previous version of yourself. So I know it's easy. I know it's one of the hardest things to do. Not think about your future, not think about the past, the coulda, shoulda, wouldas, and the what ifs, maybes, and hows. I understand all of that. But the more you stay in the moment and worry about the nows, the more all that other shit, whether past or future, takes care of itself. I say it all the time, get the inside right and the outside will follow along. And one closing kind of thought, and why I teed it up with, of course you have to keep working, is just two words. Be still. Be still. If shit doesn't feel right, if you can't figure out why you're not moving anywhere, you're grooving everywhere, you're knocking down barriers, but you're giving your best effort you have every single day, you're putting in everything you have towards one goal or maybe a couple of goals, whatever, but you are focusing all your energy in that spot, yet there's no updates, there's no announcements, there's no seam of traction anywhere. Just be still. I promise you it's coming around the corner. Sometimes the more you just worry about staying right here and now, and not worrying about being all over the map is the faster that those things come to you. I don't know why it works or how it works. It's like some fucked up game that somebody's testing you just to see if you can hang on long enough until all the good stuff comes. I mean, it's cliche as shit, but good things come to those who wait. But you can't just wait around. You got to do a little bit of work behind it too. So my friends, I challenge you today to stay present, stay in the moment. I've shown you before, but my phone lock screen is be present. Just to remind me every time. I'm always on that fucker, man. And in Twitter, capping something, the action app, chalkboard, going back and forth. I'm always in that thing, and I know how easy it is to get lost in something like that. Next thing you look up, it's 45 minutes, and you were just down a rabbit hole of, oh my gosh, what if X, Y, and Z happens here? Holy shit, the whole world could end in the next 5 minutes. And then, shit, you put yourself far behind of when you could have been right here and right now and accomplishing things in the moment. So, stay present, be present. Don't get too hung up on where you want to be, or you will forget to make the most out of where you currently are. And that does it for my Motivation Minutes of the day.
Good stuff, my man. Don't have too much to add here as we get later into the 11 o'clock hour, but good stuff, my man. You nailed just about everything. That's another reason why I don't have too much to add, because you hit it right on the head, my friend.
Appreciate you, dude. And your feedback. That officially does it for my Motivation Minutes of the day. Okay, well, that seems like the show to me. Seems like we're ready to rock and roll and get on about our Tuesdays here. So, ladies and gentlemen, degenerates and gamblers, far and wide, from myself and Max. Thank you so much for choosing to stop by episode number 182 of the Talking the Line podcast on this beautiful Tuesday of bets. We cannot tell you how much we appreciate each and every one of you for your support, your following, your likes, your shares, your visits, all this good stuff that goes into the social media world that we quickly, fastly learning more and more about every single day. It's because of you guys that we get the opportunity to learn about those things and grow and advance and make this TTL rocket ship bigger, faster, better, and stronger on a direct shot to the damn moon. So, from both of us, the bottom of our hearts, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We hope you have a spectacular rest of your Tuesday, unless you have any other plans. And as per usual, hey partner, let's cash some tickets.